Hey everybody, what's up? How's it going? Robin here today. Today we're going to be doing a basic tutorial for installing Python on your computer, and specifically I'm going to show you guys how to install Python with the Visual Studio Code here. You can see here we have it opened up here on our computer here, and I'm going to show you guys how you can actually install Python in here, integrate it into Visual Studio Code, and kind of create like a terminal where you can actually run your Python code all directly inside here without making it too complicated. So the first thing we have to do is actually install Python on our computer. So we can do that by going to the Python website here. You see here I'm on the Python website. What you want to do is go to downloads, and I'm going to download for Windows. So they have the different options here, like if you have Mac or whatever operating system you have. I'm just going to hit download for Windows here, and you'll see here that my download will appear at the bottom of the screen. We'll just wait for that to finish off really quickly, and then we'll double click this. Hit run, and then I'm going to actually uninstall. Since I've already have it installed, I'm just going to uninstall really quickly here because there's some important features we need to make sure we check when we actually install it. So I'm just going to install this really quick here, and then reinstall it, and then I can show you guys exactly what you need to do, because if you don't check some certain boxes during the installation, it actually won't set the paths correctly, and it won't work with Visual Studio Code. So this is an important step to do. So let's uninstall this first. We'll close here. And by the way, if you do install Python and you don't do, you miss the point, like the next step I'm going to give you guys, just uninstall it and do the same thing like I'm doing here. So again, let's download it here. Wait for the download to finish. And then we'll open it up, hit run. And now we can go install now. And the big thing we want to do is we want to make sure we have this add Python 3.72 path. This is the important thing. Check this box. If you installed Python and you didn't check this box, just uninstall it, then reinstall it, and make sure this box is checked, because this is what's going to add Python, the path in Visual Studio Code and whatnot, so that Visual Studio can actually access Python. You'll see what I mean in just a second when we actually go through here. So I'm just going to install now, and it takes a couple minutes to install, so it should go through here. And it looks like it's almost installed. And then after Python is done installing here, we're going to have to actually go into Visual Studio and actually install a few extensions here. It's pretty simple and nothing too complicated, but we'll cover that in just a second here. I just want to finish, wait for this to finish up before we go any further. So it looks like it's almost done. Okay, now we can close this up because setup was successful. Close it up here. I'm going to open Visual Studio Code, and I'm going to go to extensions here, or extensions here is right at the bottom here. And the two ones we want is we want this Python one right here. So in search, type in Python, and you'll see this one right here at the very top pops up. Make sure you install this extension to Visual Studio Code. It'll be an install button. Just click that, and then make sure you have it enabled. You can see it's currently enabled right now. Because it says disabled, but it's actually enabled. So we have that enabled, and then after you install Python here on Visual Studio Code, the other one you want is Code Runner. So let's go back here and type in Code Runner into search, and this is the one we want right here. And what this does is it creates a terminal that we can actually run our Python in directly inside Visual Studio Code, kind of like an IDE. So it's pretty cool, and you'll see what I mean in just a second here. So make sure you install this. So we can see here we have this installed as well, and enable it. So let's close this. So close this. And what we can do to test our installation is we can go to File, make a new file. I'm going to save the file as a Python script just so our computer knows. Let's go main.py. And yes, we'll replace that. So now we can see it's turned to this little Python icon because Visual Studio Code is now recognized this as a Python file. And I'm going to go ahead and just type in a simple print command. So let's go print, and let's go Python is installed. And if Python is installed correctly, this will work. Be sure to save your document. So I'm going to hit Control S to save it. And what you want to do now is hit F1. And you can see the Code Runner now has these list of commands here, and we can hit Run Code. And what this will do is it creates a terminal here at the bottom. You can make it as big as you want or small as you want underneath our script, and now we can see there's an output here, and then there's a debug and then terminal and all that kind of stuff here. But the output will show us what happens with our Python code. So you can see here it says running. It emits our code here, and then it's done. Now I'm just gonna hit save here really quick, and we can see at the bottom Python is installed. So we can see that our code is actually running 100% correctly. Runs the script, and then we have the output, which this print thing, I'll explain this in a different lesson what this does, but it basically just prints whatever we type in here to the terminal, prints it to the terminal, and then this is done. No error codes or anything like that, so that's good. So if you get an error code or something like that, it's probably, like I said, because you installed Python the wrong way, or you don't have Code Runner and Python enabled in Visual Studio Code. So make sure you do that correctly. If you got a rewatch tutorial, go through that, and then you can run Python here, and Python is now installed on your computer. If all else fails and you can't get Python to work, you can always go online and get a actual, and just go to a Python compiler online and use that. So if I go online, we can go to Python online compiler, or IDE, whatever you want to call it. And what this will do is this will take you to an online compiler that you can use. And this is also good on the fly. Like if you're, maybe using a different computer or something like that, and you don't have access to all this stuff, you can always just use an online compiler. So here you can see they already have a print hello world thingy here, and we can just hit run, and pretty much acts the exact same way. So if we, add another print command here, let's hit another print command. Let's go hello worlds, and then we run the file. You can see that it does exactly what we want. So that's pretty much how we can install Python onto a computer. Pretty basic stuff, pretty simple. It's not too complicated.